Dr. Sage here. In today's video, we're going to discuss the chemical agents in microbial control. By the end of this video, you should be able to name the desirable characteristics of chemical control agents, discuss several different halogen agents and their uses in microbial control, list advantages and disadvantages to the phenolic compounds as control agents, explain the mode of action of alcohols and their limitations as effective antimicrobials, pinpoint the most appropriate applications of oxidizing agents, define the term surfactant and explain this antimicrobial's mode of action, identify examples of some heavy metal control agents and their most common applications, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of aldehyde agents in microbial control, and identify applications for ethylene oxide sterilization. Antimicrobial chemicals can be solids, liquids, or gaseous. For convenience, solid or gaseous antimicrobial chemicals are dissolved in water, alcohol, or a mixture of the two. Solutions containing pure water as a solvent are called aqueous solutions, whereas tinctures are antimicrobial chemicals dissolved in pure alcohol or water-alcohol mixtures. Desirable qualities of a germicide include rapid action in low concentrations, solubility in water or alcohol and long-term stability, broad spectrum microbicidal action without toxicity to human and animal tissues, penetration of inanimate surfaces to sustain accumulation or persistent action, resistant to becoming inactivated by organic matter, non-corrosive or non-staining properties, sanitizing and deodorizing properties, and affordability and ready availability. High-level germicides kill endospores, and they're sterilants if properly used. These are used on critical items that are not heat sterilizable. For example, catheters, heart-lung equipment, and implants. Intermediate-level germicides kill fungal but not bacterial spores, resistant pathogens such as the tubercle bacillus and viruses. They're used to disinfect semi-critical items like respiratory equipment or thermometers. Low-level germicides eliminate only vegetative bacteria and fungal cells and some viruses. They're used to clean non-critical materials such as electrodes, straps, or furniture that touches skin but not mucous membranes. Factors affecting microbicidal activity of chemicals include nature of the microorganisms being treated, nature of the material being treated, degree of contamination, time of exposure, strength and chemical action of the germicide. Modes of action of germicides are to attack cellular targets such as proteins, nucleic acids, cell wall, and the cell membrane. Alright, so now let's begin our discussion of the different types of chemical germicides. For example, halogen antimicrobial chemicals. These include fluorine, bromine, chlorine, and iodine. These are microbicidal and sporicidal, and they're the active ingredients in 1/3 of all antimicrobial chemicals. Next we have chlorine and its compounds. This can be liquid or gaseous chlorine, hypochlorites, or chloramines. They kill bacteria, endospores, fungi, and viruses. They're less effective if exposed to light, alkaline pH, or excessive organic matter. The hypochlorites are broadly used in industry and allied health. Household bleach is a weak solution of sodium hypochlorite. Chloramines are used as alternative to pure chlorine in water treatment. Next we have iodine and its compounds. We can have free iodine or iodophores. All classes of organisms are killed by iodine if proper concentrations and exposure time are used, and they're not adversely affected by organic matter and pH. Applications of iodine solutions can be aqueous iodine. This is a topical antiseptic treatment for burned and infected skin. Iodine tincture. This is used in skin antisepsis. Iodine tablets are used for disinfecting water. And iodophores are complexes of iodine and alcohol, and they have replaced free iodine solutions in medical antisepsis. Next we have phenol and its derivatives. Phenol is the first major antimicrobial chemical used, however it has toxic and irritating side effects. Phenolitics destroy vegetative bacteria, fungi, and most viruses. They're able to act in the presence of organic matter. They have detergent action, and they're too toxic to use as antiseptics. For application of phenolitics, we have cresols. These are phenolitic derivatives combined with soap. Bisphenols, which are aerosol sprays and cleaning soaps. Triclosan, which is a disinfectant and antiseptic chemical added to many products. And chlorhexidine, which is used in hand scrubbing, surgical preps, and other medical uses. We also have alcohols as antimicrobial agents. Only ethyl or isopropyl alcohol are appropriate for microbial control. They actually exhibit greater efficiency at 70%. They destroy the vegetative microbial forms but not endospores, and they're more effective against envelope viruses than non-envelope viruses. So with ethyl alcohol, we want to use it between 70 and 95%. It's used for skin degerming and disinfection of some types of medical equipment. However, it evaporates very quickly and the evaporation rate limits its effectiveness. Isopropyl alcohol is more microbicidal and less expensive than ethanol. Evaporation rate also limits its effectiveness, and the vapors can adversely affect the nervous system of humans. Next, we have oxidizing agents like hydrogen peroxide. Its germicidal effects are due to toxic reactive oxygen. It's bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal, and sporicidal at high concentrations. It's an antiseptic. It's used in skin and wound cleansing, bed sore care, and mouthwashes. As a disinfectant, it can be used to disinfect soft contacts, surgical implants, plastic equipment, utensils, bedding, and room interiors. The applications of hydrogen peroxide include sterilization of delicate reusable instruments. Vaporized hydrogen peroxide can be used for small industrial items in large enclosed spaces. And ozone has similar effects to hydrogen peroxide. Next, we have chemicals with surface action. These are called detergents. Surfactants have limited microbicidal power. The activity is due to the amphipathic nature of the molecule, as a hydrophilic water-loving head and hydrophobic water-hating tail. It disrupts the selective permeability of cytoplasmic membranes, so it has varied effects, and its activity is reduced by the presence of organic matter. So surfactants are polar molecules with hydrophilic and hydrophobic regions. They physically bind to the lipid layer and penetrate the internal hydrophobic region of membranes. This opens up leaky spots that allow damaging chemicals to seep into the cell and important ions to leak out. So remember, membranes are a phospholipid bilayer. The surfactant, having a hydrophilic water-loving head and a hydrophobic water-hating tail, can integrate into the membrane, creating disruptions where things can either go into the cell or leak out of the cell. Applications of detergents and soaps? Well, we have quaternary ammonium compounds, often called quats. These are used for ophthalmic solutions and cosmetics. They're also used in soap disinfectants, mixed with cleaning agents to sanitize a variety of objects and surfaces. They're in preservatives. However, they're weak microbiocides. For example, pneumonias grow abundantly in soap dishes. They're used mainly for mechanical removal of microbes. For example, scrubbing them away off of your hands. They're more germicidal when combined with chlorhexidine or iodine. We also have heavy metal compounds. Oligodynamic is toxic in minute quantities. Only mercury and silver compounds have significance as germicides. Drawbacks to heavy metal compounds is they can be toxic to humans if ingested. They can cause allergic reactions. They're neutralized by biological wastes, and microbes can develop resistance to them. Applications of heavy metals? Well, we can have weak organic mercury tinctures. They're effective antiseptics and infection preventatives. They're preservatives in cosmetics and ophthalmologic solutions. We can also have silver compounds. Silver nitrate is a topical germicide. Silver sulfadizine is a burn treatment. Pure silver is incorporated into catheters. Colloidal silver is a mild germicide. And silver ions are incorporated into hard surfaces and textiles. So as example, we can have copper fixtures like this door handle, which can kill microbes that otherwise might accumulate on frequently touched surfaces. We can have eating utensils that contain small amounts of silver to inhibit bacterial growth. Copper often lines incubators to minimize contamination of cell culture stored inside. And antiseptic mouthwash like Listerine commonly contain zinc chloride, zinc being a heavy metal. We also have aldehydes as germicides. For example, glutaraldehyde has rapid broad spectrum and accepted as a sterilant. It retains potency in the presence of organic matter. Or we can have formaldehyde. Formalin is an aqueous solution. It has intermediate to high-level disinfectant, but it's extremely toxic. Or OPA, which is similar to glutaraldehyde. It's less irritating, but it does not destroy endospores. Applications of aldehydes. Glutaraldehyde is used to sterilize materials that can be damaged by heat. Formalin tincture disinfects surgical instruments and is used in aquaculture, and is an active ingredient in embalming fluid. We can have gases, sterilants, and disinfectants. For example, ethylene oxide. This can be used in a chemiclave. So instead of an autoclave that uses wet heat and pressure, we can have a chemiclave that uses chemical sterilization. Downsides are ethylene oxide is explosive and a carcinogen, and it can cause damage to lung, eyes, and mucous membranes. Or we can have chlorine dioxide. It's used for treatment of drinking water, wastewater, food processing equipment, and medical waste. And most famously, it was used to disinfect the Senate offices after the anthrax attacks in 2001. We can have acids and alkalis. For example, aqueous ammonium oxide. These are used in detergents, cleaners, and deodorizers. Or organic acids used in food preservation. For example, acetic acid, propionic acid, lactic acid, benzoic acid, and sorbic acid. For example, vinegar using to preserve foods like pickles. Alright, so in conclusion, let's go over some active ingredients of various commercial antimicrobial products. For example, Lysol sanitizing wipes include hypochlorous acid, which is an acid. Clorox disinfecting wipes include dimethyl ammonium chloride, which is a detergent, a quat. Dial antibacterial hand soap includes ammonium lauryl sulfate, which is a surfactant detergent. Lysol disinfecting spray includes a detergent, a quat, and an alcohol. Wet Ones antibacterial moist wipes include ethanol, which is an alcohol. Noxema Triple Clean includes alcohol and salicylic acid, so it includes an alcohol and an acid. Scope mouthwash includes ethanol, which is an alcohol. Purell Instant Hand Sanitizer includes ethanol and propanol, which are alcohols. And Colgate Total Toothpaste includes triclosan, which is a phenolitic. Alright, this was your overview of chemical agents in microbial control. Until next time, this has been Dr. Sage.